I used to be very hard on myself, and I used to work very hard on some of the businesses that I had in my past. And I've been on a journey in my life of learning to slow down. And in that slowing down, I found the things that I was always looking for, that I before was trying to find by always engaging myself in, for example, self-improvement or working on my businesses that I had, or always trying to be the best in this or that, and so on, is something that I later found in not really doing anything. Because here's the thing, something that I didn't understand, and that is that by doing nothing, you're actually doing something. And that something that you are doing is the thing that maybe you never tried before. I never tried to do nothing in my life. I never tried to not do anything, because not doing anything felt like not doing anything for me. Like, then I'm not getting anywhere. Then I'm not, doing something that can like improve my situation, that can make my life like better or like improve it in some way. And the thing is that my life didn't really need improving. My life needed a change that I didn't understand at the time that it actually needed, which would come about from doing something. And that something was to do nothing. Doing nothing is actually something that you do, and that sounds a bit weird. It sounded so weird to me when I first heard that. I remember that my friend that I met about 1.5 years ago now told me like, well, if you're doing nothing, then you're actually doing something. And for the first time I heard it, I was like, I don't really understand that. Like, what does it even mean? Like, I'm doing something when I'm doing nothing? Now it makes perfect sense for me though. So here's the thing. I was extremely hard on myself. I really wanted to perform and do things. But where did all of that really come from? If you go to this course or the source of it, why did I feel like that? There's nothing wrong with wanting to do things, wanting to change things, wanting to make an impact on the people around you, on the world, or whatever it is. But it's not so much about the thing that you're doing, but more so about the intention that you actually have. And for me, the intention for most of my life was not a good one. It was a bad one. It was the intention of me first feeling like I wasn't good enough. Me feeling like I had to prove myself because I didn't accept myself. Something that is so common and that I see in so many people. And that is the thing that I want to teach about. That the source of your problems might not lie in the things that you are doing. If you can manage to do this, if you reach this goal, if you are able to do this. The thing that I always searched for was something that came naturally and gave me peace and satisfaction more and more and more. The more that I sort of allowed it to come into my world, which was something that happened, the more space that I gave myself. Small steps every day is something that I put up on my wall, I don't know, 1 year ago now, or 1.5 years or something. And it was as I realized that, the change that I'm looking for is not something that is going to come from me doing a bunch of shit. It is something that is going to come from me by slowing down, giving myself space and time, because it is only in that you're going to be able to work out the sort of things within you that is creating the resistance and friction that goes on, that makes you really need to become like a specific sort of person, which makes you create expectations of things out here to make you feel good. Because you have so many limiting beliefs about yourself. You have so many rules placed upon you in order to feel good, when in reality, feeling good is something that you naturally do when you are not weighed down by all of these things that you picked up over the course of your life from a younger age, from society, friends, and so on. It happens naturally to you. And life is not so much about creating happiness. Life is not about creating a good life for yourself. I think that life is more about just shedding these things that makes it unnatural for you to just feel those things just as you are. And then by doing that, you also come to a place in life where you start feeling so good first within yourself that it sooner or later finds a reflection in the world around you also, where your life starts to pick up and go better as well. So it all starts within. The things that I did, my businesses, they all failed. They were all learning lessons. I appreciate them for what they are, but nothing actually came into fruition with the things that I tried to do over the course of my life, because I was not ready to take them to that level, because the intention that was fueling everything that I was doing had to be resolved, had to come to a higher place of just being before I could do things or experience those things that I always wanted to experience. But I never realized that the abundance that I was looking for out here was actually because I believed that I lacked that sort of abundance within myself, you know? And it is only through finding more and more of this abundance that I have so naturally within me, behind all of these stories that were not good enough, that I'm not accepted, I'm not loved, or whatever it is. It always comes back to those things. I mention it so often. The more that we realize that those things are not true, the more quickly we sort of become at ease with the world, at ease with the universe, and we feel more at peace with ourselves, and we feel that sort of abundance that we convinced ourselves that we could have by perhaps having this or that thing, which came from a story from our past. But if you shed the story from the past, then this connection between I need this thing and then filter it through the story to feel abundance. If you remove the story, the abundance is already here within you. It's like going back in time to a place when you were younger, where you were just happy and joyful and yourself and had no limitations whatsoever. You're slowly shedding and unlearning all of this garbage that makes you go more back into that childlike state, except that you're an adult now. But still that feeling of just being so joyful and present and having your imagination so vivid and being able to do things because that's just who you are. You're more able to just be the person that you are. You're not afraid of showing this side or this side and always stuck in an unconscious process of hiding yourself in order to get acceptance and validation from people around you. For example, because all of those stories that makes you feel like you can't express this, express that, and so ever, just dissipates. And you connect to that natural abundance that always exists within you, just because of the person that you are. So over the last 1.5 years, I've had an extremely hard time with just slowing down. And it's something that I'm learning every single day. Just the other day, yesterday, I felt to myself, or I felt like I really wanted to make a video. And I felt bad that sometimes I'm just sitting and it feels like I'm doing fucking nothing. But I've learned to listen to my intuition and to learn to actually listen to how I'm fucking feeling. And I know that if I actually went ahead and made a video yesterday, that it would still be from the same intention of trying to feel good enough, trying to prove myself in some way. Because I have learned to become present with all of this garbage from my past that was created from these stories that I'm telling you about right now. Through the meditations that I've done in my past, and just by becoming more present and learning to understand my unconscious programming more and more, I can see those days where right now I need to work on what it is that I'm feeling. I need to feel into it and give it space. I don't need to distract myself from it by trying to create a video right now. I just need to feel really bad about myself that I'm not able to kind of do it, and that I feel like I'm not good enough because I'm not doing it, you know? That is how you heal these things. Make it better. Become someone new. Find the thing you were always looking for. Actually lies on the other side of just giving yourself space to work through some of these things that comes up. And that is when your life also changes in the most amazing way. It is a journey that I've been on now for about 3 years, and the more space and time I give to myself, especially on those days where I need it, where I realize that right now I'm going through this. Like for the longest time of my life, I didn't understand that I was going through it, you know? I just lived my entire life always being engaged in thinking negatively about myself, or worrying, stressing, analyzing, and trying to come up with these things. And I was always caught in the unconscious process of it. And that is pretty much where we all start until we learn to slow down. That is why, for example, it is so hard to get into a meditation, because we're so used to always doing something. So we're sitting there like, okay, what's the point? Okay, I'm thinking, I can't stop thinking. Trying just to become aware of what the fuck it is that you're thinking for a second. Just try to slow down for a bit. And that is the thing that you never tried before. That is the thing that will change your life in the way that you want to change it. Even if it might seem a bit far-fetched, slowing down and giving yourself time and space will allow you to heal the unconscious processes that are fucking over your life. And yesterday was just one of those days for me where I had to slow down. They keep coming up. Today was a good day for me to come here because I don't feel it in the same way. It is cycles that we go through in this lifetime, right? In this life, it is cycles that we go through, you know? And sometimes you get more of these things coming up on certain days, and then it is time to slow down. And then you have days where it's time to kind of speed up and do things, like it is for me today, for example. Today I'm making the video because I'm ready to make the video. Because I actually worked on that shit yesterday, and now I'm free from it. And now I have elevated that feeling to another level, and I feel like I can share just from the person that I am again. I don't need to mask or distract from anything because I worked it out. It will come back because it comes in cycles, and you don't actually work these things out, but you always make it better. The more time and attention that you give yourself, and the more space that you give to what it is that you are actually feeling, and learn to feel what it is that you're feeling. Small steps every day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I have coaching calls if you're interested, so make sure to check it out on my website. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.